So it's 4 a.m. and for some reason I'm up making another video because my brain won't turn off. So in line with my previous videos this week on ADHD and autism, I thought I'd explain a really quick concept around attention regulation and what it actually looks like to have underregulated and overregulated attention. So the two things I'll be contrasting today, this first one of the one that looks like being impulsive and emotional, right, which is like an underregulated attention, and the opposite of that is where attention is overregulated and it looks more like being uptight and rational. So the impulsive is, oh, wow, that's a good idea, let's do that. And uptight and rational is more like, oh, I'm not sure. Why don't we think about that for a minute before making any rash decisions? So what are the relative strengths and weaknesses of each of these, right? So if you're impulsive and emotional, it's really easy to start things, right? You've got a lot of an instigation energy is really easy. So when you want to do something, you can just do it. Whereas alternatively, if you're more rational, it's actually quite difficult to get started because you don't have that natural energy to just get going. However, once you've started a task, persisting with that task and keeping on going, even when it's difficult until it's actually finished, is really hard if you're relying on impulsive emotional energy. However, if you've got overregulated attention and you're very rational and you can keep going and keep finishing a task and persevere until it's done, then it's easy to just keep going because you know that it's going to get done. Similarly, it's actually, anyway, losing my train of thought. Here we go. Try again. So, however, once I get going, so I'm firmly, for some reason I'm going to use a rainbow pen, I'm firmly on this rational side of overregulating my attention, which is quite common on the autism spectrum. So what that means, though, is that although it's very easy to keep going at a task, it's very difficult to stop. Because once I get going, once I've already made 1 or 2 videos in a week on the topic of attention regulation and autism and ADHD, it's really hard to put my brain to bed and stop and think that it's actually enough, even when I've passed the finish line already and I know I can stop. For some reason, my brain doesn't want to stop. And then again, contrasting that on the other side, it can be once the energy is gone, it can be easy to stop if you're relying on impulsive emotional energy. Actually, I'm going to take that back. I originally planned to say that, but it's not always easy to stop. And the reason I'm saying that is because both of us are prone to hyperfocus. So what that looks like is when something is incredibly engaging, and whether that's incredibly engaging because of the high energy, impulsive, emotional, underregulated attention, or whether it's super engaging because I've wound myself up so much to do it and I'm finally doing it, and it's like this elephant that's running at full speed or a train that's running at full speed and I can't just stop, then it's both of us can have hyperfocus, which looks very similar. So that is something quick today. I noticed that I didn't link either of these to autism or ADHD because some of us have one or the other, or both even. But I am clearly making less and less sense, so I'm going to stop talking now. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Bye.